Chris. Thanks for joining me.
See you again.
Yeah, good to see you again. Always great running into you, especially these shows.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about Winning the Storm so far?
It's good, man. It's good to be back after a couple of years off. I came last year, but they're just kind of getting going and everything. So it's good to see some familiar faces, some new faces, a lot of good things going on, really good conversations. So I'm having a good time.
Oh yeah. What do you think is going to be your biggest takeaway from this show?
For me, seeing some of the big boys in the retail side of things and some of the stuff they're saying is both edifying and educational. So I think that's kind of where a lot of that value for me is coming in, is just seeing some of the nuanced ways that people are implementing what I'm doing at a very high level, at a higher level than I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's always inspiring.
Yeah, it is.
Tell us about what you're currently working on, because I know you have a new program that you're in the beginning stages of launching, about to launch here soon?
Yeah, so most of what I've done for the last several years has been more fractional COO type work, where I come in after I sold my company. I go in and I do a lot of custom work, right? So I'm doing, okay, how do you guys want things, all this. What I've done is I've built out more of a done-for-you system that has a lot of the answers already in place. And then I have different ways of getting that information into people's hands, kind of 4 tiers: the free, lower ticket, middle ticket, higher ticket, do it yourself, done for you, or done with you and done for you. So I have those rolling out. I've had them in kind of a beta phase with some clients, making sure I like what I'm seeing that we're starting to produce some results and things like that. And so that's what I've been doing, is effectively the core of it's two main goals. One is to train roofers how to sell retail and storm environments, or how to leverage insurance in non-storm environments. But the bigger focus right now is on the retail and storm environments. And then strategic angles for roll-ups, I guess, would be the other part. There's so much money in the industry right now, and that's the other thing that's a huge takeaway from any time you're around a group of people in this space, is between the technology and the private equity. There's so much money being dumped into this industry right now. But there's also this kind of fear for some of the smaller guys where they're like, yeah, the money's in, but how long is it going to be here? Business is struggling in some ways. There's some new changes that are scary. How long is the money here? How do I get my piece of it? And so I think that combination of events inside of our industry environment are creating a very interesting atmosphere. And I'm trying to help people facilitate answers to the difficulties that they're coming up with, as well as solutions for how to actually scale and exit in the most effective way possible.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I've always liked your philosophy around that retail in the storm environment. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of the history behind that for those that don't know it? How did you wind up going down that route? Because I think you started actually doing insurance, like in the insurance
we did
style, right?
So we did insurance retail in Dallas when I had my company. So I started in the industry 2017. And I saw my first ACV policy. I don't remember when it was. It was sometime 2017, 2018. I'd been in the industry probably less than a year. I saw an ACV policy. I know human nature. I know corporations. And I said, oh, this is going to be the new norm eventually. And anytime I see a change coming to an industry, you've heard me say this 100 times, I look at it as a wave coming, and you either position yourself to get carried by the wave or you get crushed by it. And so I saw that very early on, and some of the mistakes I make is I see things a little too early sometimes, and then the catch-up process, I can get, waiting for the wave, basically. And so, but what we did do effectively was we did sell retail. I started doing a lot of research, and I spent most of my time when I was building my first roofing company in research and development, trying to figure out maintenance programs, retail models. How do you do that in a non-storm environment? And then how do you bring that to a storm environment? And so I spent most of my time, money, and energy trying to figure that out. And we did it effectively. We were selling at over $700 a square in Dallas in 2020. And this is actually another really big takeaway from me, because I've just started to roll this back out in some of these storm markets. And the feedback I've been getting is that it can't be done anymore. Dallas specifically, like the industry's so different, door knocking's dead. I'm hearing all this stuff. And then I reached out to some of my old sales guys from my old company, and they're all selling retail in Dallas. Like my guy that was with me yesterday, he sold for me both before and after our acquisition. He stuck around for a while. And he's selling at over $700 a square in Dallas, 30-40% close rate, one call close, all retail. maybe not all retail, but vast majority is flipping into retail. So I'm like, it's still being done. It's being done by my people on my systems. He's working for franchising, helping them do things that their whole franchise isn't doing based on what we did 4 years ago. So very encouraging stuff to see. And so I'm working on just taking everything here's the other big thing is the technology, and you guys are a huge part of that. When I tried to do this 4 years ago, like I'm hearing the stuff they're talking about in the 200, 300, 400 billion dollar panel on the retail side, and I'm listening to the technology that they're using, and they're talking about AI. I mean, like crazy high level stuff. And 3 and 4 years ago, I couldn't even get a drip campaign without having to tie Go High Level into Sales Rabbit and Job Nimbus all together, because I have, it's like, and now we have these incredible tools. So there's so much opportunity right now, and that's kind of what I'm trying to help people figure out, because it's a lot. It's very I mean, you understand that with your CRM. It's very overwhelming for people to look at yours versus another CRM and figure out what is it that you actually do better, but more importantly, what are the gaps that any CRM has that can create pitfalls and cause. I had a guy when I was on Dimitri's podcast last week, he was talking to me. It's like they have a very successful residential and commercial company. They did a CRM build out and got 90% of the way through and figured out that the integration with QuickBooks didn't actually work the way they needed it to, and they just scrapped the entire project. So it's a very interesting environment that we're in right now, with a whole lot of opportunity and some really cool technology that's making it so much easier for us to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
Here's how roofers make it home for dinner every single night without losing a single sale, even when they're one-man shows. Automate your communication with ProLine, the only communication-first CRM for roofers. Because when you fix your communication, you'll sell more jobs. Your weekends will smell more like sunscreen and backyard barbecues than that crappy gas station coffee. And all you got to do is ask these roofers.
Where we had about 200% growth, and I attribute that to incorporating ProLine.
But just with one automation, I was able to get 25 Google reviews.
It's been absolutely insane how quickly we were able to grow.
Now, ProLine's not going to win the beauty pageant, but it will save your Saturday. Now, back to the show.
It makes total sense. It's. I was having a conversation yesterday about this. It's especially for your mom and pop business. There's such a big gap now between sort of just doing the bare minimum, even maybe doing it pen and paper in the business, versus a company that's got all the current technology implemented correctly and is approaching these sales in the right way.
Correct.
Like you're saying,
And the culture.
retail plus the culture. An entity that has all that squared away is going to operate so many more times as efficiently as that sort of mom and pop entity. And so for the mom and pop, they need a way to win. They need a way to, because they can't take 90 or 6 months to go and learn every single detail of these things. They can't afford to. They got to operate their business.
Exactly.
So they got to work with organizations, teams, consultants like yourself. We really like the franchise model for the same reason. These organizations that you guys are taking the time to fully understand every nuance of platforms like ProLine and everything that we can do, understanding that inside and out, and knowing how to deploy it, make use of it, leverage it, and then enabling
and
them to do
integrate it
quickly.
into the whole ecosystem that you've built. That's the hardest part, is like, okay, first I have to pick, do I like ProLine or Nimbus or AccuLynx or whatever? Once I pick that, now I have to figure out, and really you need to figure that out prior to, is what's my total tech stack going to look like? How do those fit together? And you're exactly right. The guy that's stuck in the truck or trying to run a sales team, it's very, very hard to get all of that, stay on top of it. I mean, your consultants have to be in your system on an almost daily basis to keep up. We've talked about that because there's so many changes happening so fast with technology. I bought a little AI product company thing this last week, and I was talking to a friend. He's like, well, they'll tell me about the tech. I'm like, I don't care. It's going to be changed by the time I understand it. I just care that it works, and we're going to move because it's working.
Go so fast, yeah.
It's so fast now. It's we'll just have to just start running. Let it carry you.
Yeah, it moves super fast. Someone asked me earlier what keeps me up at night. It's like it's how fast it's moving, and what keeps me up at night is how can we move faster? Because we have to move faster. But the thing is, the faster we move, because we have to move fast in order to stay on the cutting edge.
It's creating a gap in education.
It becomes even more challenging
Right.
for companies to fully make use and implement everything, which is where people like yourself come in. Is like we need there to be that support structure for us to win. We need you guys to win.
I think that's
Be able
probably
to
one of the
educate.
biggest problems, maybe like from a mental standpoint, that the industry is still maybe needing to get over. And I don't know about this. You guys might see this better than I do. Everyone's worried about leads, which is super valid. If you don't have gas going into the machine, nothing. So you do need to work on the leads. We've got solutions for that too. But what scares me is people worry so much about the leads. They worry so much about the sales guys that they're bringing in, but they don't necessarily have the infrastructure to support that gas flow through. Because I look, really, a vehicle is a very good explanation. Like a high-performance vehicle is a very good explanation of a CRM, because it's the backbone, it's the engine, it's the drivetrain of the entire machine.
Yeah.
And so if you've got one where, like if I upgrade my engine, I have to upgrade other components in the system to keep up with that and to make it maximally efficient. And I think that's part of what's happening inside of the CRMs is there's so many changes going on, and they're not really aware of the fact that, oh, you can add, this turbo to it or whatever it is, that's going to just kick everything up this much better. And so they end up in a position where they're scrambling and trying to do this and that, and they end up with these broken systems and they're frustrated. So it's very hard. Now, here's the thing that I think needs to shift. It took a while, and then I feel like just recently people were like, oh, I'll throw $5,000, $10,000 at a website all day long. But then I was the same way 4 years ago, and granted, I had a CRM background. I liked building them, so it was fun for me, and I wanted to do it. But if someone came to me and said, hey, $5,000 to build out your CRM, I'd say, screw you, I'm already paying for the fee and everything. But the reality is that if you're building this out the right way, you're effectively building their entire company for them.
Yes.
And
That's, yeah. 100%.
And so it's a big project to do it the right way, because it's not, the CRM is the backbone, it's the foundation, but it's all the things that plug into it and the way that you choose to tie this piece to that piece. We were talking yesterday about stages versus statuses. How are you tracking your KPIs and your data and all that, which I went and looked at some stuff. I have some other thoughts on that too. It'll be simple, but yeah, for sure. Anyway, so yeah, I think there's some really good things going on, and I love hearing, when I tell people I train roofers how to sell retail in a storm environment. A year ago, 2 years ago, they'd be like, no. Actually, even at the beginning of this year, a lot of people are like, nope, not worth it, especially not in Dallas. And now, everyone I say it's like, oh, I need to get your contact information.
The wave has caught up to you.
They finally caught up. They finally caught up. Now I'm like, okay, what do we do? Now what do we do?
Yeah.
Because there's so many opportunities. There's so much money. There's so many really brilliant people working on these things. So for me now, I'm like, okay, now I'm in a position where who are the best people at what they do? How do we bring them together and do something that's really, really effective? And I think we can do that without relying too heavily on investment backing. I think we can. That's kind of a whole other angle I have, but maybe it's a little bit more of a bootstrap mentality. But I think there's something to be said. There's a lot of the private equity companies are having a very hard time understanding the nuances of the roofing industry, because they're used to general home services, which are more retail driven. They're more maintenance and service plan driven.
Yep.
And so when they come into this kind of an environment, there's insurance funding and then dual funding if you split, because some people are financing. It's very complicated. So they have cash flow issues. So a lot of these PE firms, the small ones, and even some of the big ones, what do you do with the W-2, 1099? Then there's so many little questions to be answered. And I think they're having a hard time because they don't grasp the nuance and culture of the roofing space. They haven't been on a roof. They haven't had those conversations with homeowners. They don't understand the ground. They don't understand what it's like being stuck in the truck. They don't, these are things that they don't really grasp, and the way that the industry's set up, because they're used to a service tech going out in a technician's outfit, analyzing an HVAC system and then giving a price and whatever, and then that's it, and they have their systems for it, and that's all that person does. They're not used to the guy that has to go out there, knock the door, get on the roof, inspect the roof, go meet, close the sale, meet with the adjuster, maybe collect the check, maybe help with supplement and maybe do. So they don't understand the mentality of the guy that's having to do that. And because they don't, I think that there's an opportunity for us internally inside of the roofing industry to make some collaborative moves together without relying on investment funding that can then position us to keep a bigger piece of the pie as we expand. And there's some really interesting things with the multiples and all of that, particularly if you start bringing in the retail element and some technology, some really cool things that are going on.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. I think changes come fast, but it's an opportunity as much as it is a risk.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's why I got in the industry. Someone asked me to come build a canvassing team for 35 reps doing $10 million, and I asked them how they wanted me to track it, and they said Excel. And I was like, oh. I was making $40,000 a year at the time. I was a college professor. I was like, oh, you're making $10 million and you're trying to track leads on Excel? You don't even have your voicemail set up for your business?
Yeah.
Like
let's get the basics.
This is an opportunity.
Yeah,
this industry has a lot. And I got excited about it. And then, honestly, I haven't been crazy excited about it for a long time. And it's just recently now that as this wave is catching up, I'm like, oh, I'm really glad I stuck around in this industry, because after my exit, I almost exited. And now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, there's just about nowhere I'd rather be right now.
Yep. No, I love that.
And I'm trying to bring people into it too. I think there's a lot of people that are hurting financially. I think there's a lot of people that are going to get replaced by AI. I have a lot of friends that are looking for jobs, and so I'm like, look, just, I'm like crying out and, come on, there's money over here. Come jump in, learn it, figure this out, let's go. I can help you a little. I don't have a lot of bandwidth, but I can put you in the right rooms with the right people.
Learn the nuance.
Yeah.
And you can win.
Yeah.
What so for the new program, do you have a name for the new program?
Yeah, it's Retail Roofing Revolution.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. That's a great name. Where for those that are interested, I know you're launching it soon. By the time this goes live, maybe it's already launched.
It will be, yeah, most likely.
So,
I don't know what your turnaround time is, but yeah, within the next. So it's live. I'm doing pre-sales for October. My plan is I'm going to do an October through December cohort to get people ready for the spring season.
Yep.
Do we need to stop while they talk? Are we good?
No, just gave her.
Okay, I don't know if it would pick up. Okay, so
I pick up.
Yeah. So the plan is, I'm gonna. We have a Facebook group that we're gonna do, which is maybe a little played out in the industry, but it's a good platform for communication. And so it's gonna be a little different. It's not gonna be. I'm not trying to get a ton of people in there. In fact, I'm gonna intentionally keep it small. I don't want to give all of this information to too many people. I'm finally realizing, like, I'm listening to these guys doing over, hundreds of millions or over $1 billion a year, saying some of the stuff I said years ago, and I'm like, okay, this is really, really invaluable information. We did figure out how to do this in the storm market. It was so long ago that sometimes I forget the value of it, and it wasn't something that was greatly appreciated. So in mass, right? There were people who appreciated it. But so all that being said, the best way to get into that is to join this Facebook group. I'm honestly, I'm not even trying to sell it right now, so I don't have an avenue. I have my contact, and actually, I'll tell you what, email admin@canquitchris.com. That would be the best way, and just say you want to get put on the wait list for the Facebook group. It's going to be completely free. You're going to get your own account manager. We do have to keep it limited because of that, how many people, but
is there a landing page yet?
There's a landing page.
Okay.
I don't know the URL though off the top of my head. It's probably some weird go high level.
Oh, is on what's your main website though?
CanQuitChris.com or Can't Quit Consulting. Both of those work. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's up? Well, I'm excited to see.
Too.
See once that's live.
I'm excited to
dive into it.
Build it out and.
Yeah.
Well, finish building it out in ProLine. I'm just stacking in the sales presentations, unique selling propositions, more of the documentation.
Yep.
So we're really doing some of the fine tuning. We're talking about some of the KPI displays and things like that. So
you're working with Jonathan on our team, is that right? You're working with him on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's really cool. And look, hey, shout out to you guys. I went to these guys 2 or 3 days ago and said, hey, I'm looking for a piece of data that your system doesn't have. And this is why I'm going to give you guys a shout out, okay? So, I look, no hate on any other CRMs. I have relationships with most of them. I love all of them. So this is not even a comparison thing, but I'll say, like, I used to use one CRM, and I didn't like the customer support I got from them when I went back in the industry as a consultant. I felt a little like tugged around, and like the support wasn't going to be there that I needed to do the build outs. And I went and I was going to build out a Go high level one myself. I was going to figure out how do I deal with the material orders and all the stuff that they don't have. And that day was the day that, or that week at least, was the week that Dimitri had posted about a CRM, and the ProLine Mafia came out maybe for the first time and was like, I was like, I've never even heard of this thing. And so I reached out to you guys. I don't remember if I saw you at the event. It might have been Win the Storm last year when that was the first time
No, I think it's RoofCon.
It was RoofCon? Okay, yeah. So I saw immediately the customer support that I would get with you guys. I saw the intentionality behind that, and I said, that's like, boutique, big box, whatever, like, I want support. I want to be able to go to somebody and say, hey, look, this is a problem. I need a solution. And you guys immediately were like, oh, actually, at first you guys were like, well, I don't even know if that makes sense. We talked about it. Then you're like, okay, we see the value in this. Not everyone will use it, but there's value. Here's how we do. And obviously, you guys might not be able to do that for everybody, but I know how much you guys put into that, and to me, that's the game changer with you guys, is your ability to listen and willingness to just do what's needed to get it done the right way. It's good. Listen to the end user.
Yeah, that is the goal. I mean, it's one of the biggest complaints with the other platforms is we don't feel listened to, and the challenging thing is, at scale, we have a lot of users on the platform. We have thousands of users on the platform now. Really? We can't, individually. Individual members of our team can speak to those individual users. However, that information may or may not make it up all the way to the dev team.
Right.
And that's
just the reality.
It doesn't scale. However, our solution to that is our idea board. So every single user on ProLine, they get to go on our idea board, which is one click from inside ProLine. And our dev team is monitoring and interacting with that idea board daily.
I think that's the big differentiator with you guys too, is I think most of the companies have an idea board, but it comes down to the use of it. It's like, is it actually being implemented and monitored? Are we actually accomplishing things that we're asking for? And again, that's another place where I've been involved with these other CRMs, and not all of them, but there are definitely some where I've had experiences and I said, hey, I need this next week. This is a very basic feature. You guys have been around a long time. I can't figure out how to access this. I'm not saying you don't have it, but how do I access it? And it takes 8 days for a response. And they have the feature. They just can't even get back to me to explain how to find it and use it. No way. I can't deal with that. 8 days? How much business? I mean, some of these guys are doing $1 million a day. That's an $8 million cost. Not really, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%.
Terrible. So I really appreciate the accessibility you guys have, and it's made a big difference for my clients and for me.
I love that. We have and will continue to maintain the highest ratio of support team members to the number of contractors on the platform. So as of today, we continue to maintain a sub 5-minute response time during business hours. So 5 minutes, you can get a response back from our team and immediate help on whatever you're looking for. That doesn't mean they're going to be able to solve your problem immediately, because there's going to be some back and forth. But however, you can get a person talking to you, helping you within 5 minutes anytime during between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern time is our current business hours. Thinking of expanding that to 24 hours at some point in the future. But I think.
Do you deal with early morning concerns from people that are getting in the system to do installs and stuff?
A little bit on the East Coast. So on the West Coast, they're coming on later. So we're
10 a.m. Central.
We're starting at 7 a.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
So 10 a.m. Eastern time, of which we do get some Eastern contractors in the morning that they may not get an immediate response. That's why we're thinking of further expanding. Right now,
we're probably just add like a couple hours on the front end.
Have like a
morning shift. I bet that'd be like an 80-20 thing. You might still get a couple, but that might be more bang for the buck kind of a thing than having to do a full 24 coverage.
Yeah.
This is a thought.
We've been prioritizing like during those business hours, making sure that we get the fastest possible response time. And so we didn't want to spread ourselves too thin.
Yeah.
But we're getting to the point where we can probably have a third shift. Right now we have two shifts, so we're coverage all the way to 10 p.m. A lot of people are working at night.
Is there like critical mass difficult to monitor on that with how many requests you guys are going to get versus how many people you have to facilitate that?
We have
No, you have what?
we have to track that number.
Yeah,
to make
that
sure.
seems like maybe a difficult trigger to stay on top of.
We get hundreds of conversations a day. But like I said, we're able to engage with them within 5 minutes.
Fantastic.
And so, it's just, I think it's unsustainable to do any other way. Like we would rather increase our pricing than have that slip.
And that's it. Okay, I got to say something else to the industry. So many people are price focused on the CRM. Guys, if you're going to spend money on something, for the love of God, do it on CRMs. Like, if people are, oh, well, this one's this much and this one's twice as much. And I'm like, yeah, but it's going to produce 4 times the revenue and profit for you that the one that's half the price is going to do.
It sells 2x the job.
Yeah, it's like, you got to think bigger. You have to think beyond just, oh, there's a cost, so what's the reward for it, though? And your CRM is the most, of all of the stuff in this place, I would suggest that one of the very most important things you can do is make sure you have the right CRM and the right build out to go along with it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Couldn't agree more.
love what you guys are doing, and thanks for making my life a lot easier than it was 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm here to work with our awesome partners like yourself.
Let's go.
So,
All right,
yeah,
man.
thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.